All right, you know, something that I've been thinking about is that we do a lot of stuff to create our lives, right? But I think one of the things we miss, and this will help people tremendously, is it's not really about what comes in, it's how we react to what comes in. Now, you may have known this before. Let's give you some more tools or some more insights or some more awareness that you can use to really enhance and change, your life. So check this out. All right, so the key to master or create whatever you want, guys, it lies in the brain, in your brain, how your brain processes information, but predominantly how you react to the information your brain processes. Now, this may sound a little counterintuitive, but this is how it works. All right. So here's how the brain works. So have you ever wondered why, like, when you worry a lot, when you get frustrated, when you get stressed out, you seem to attract more negative stuff, more of the stuff you like worry about, stressed about. It seems to exasperate. For example, ever notice, like, when you're having a bad day, the whole day just turns bad. When you're having a good day, the whole day just turns good. What's happening here? Well, it's the brain prioritize things based on importance. And here's how it works. Remember, when I talk about the brain, I'm speaking about the subconscious or the unconscious part of the brain. Now, I'm not going to talk about the logical, analytical part of the mind, because that's that part of the mind we can understand and we can see what's going on there. I'm talking about we're going into the unconscious part of the brain. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. So let me give you an example of that. All right, so here's what happened. So whenever you have a bad day, right, you're like focusing on the bad day, but you don't want to have a bad day. Like when you worry about something, you're worrying about that thing, but you in your conscious mind, you think that worrying is going to help to alleviate that thing, or focusing on it can find solutions to help it. But the brain doesn't see it that way. The brain sees, oh, we're more focused on this stuff here. So based on what we're focused on, he or she wants more of that. That's our reaction. So basically, how we react to external stimuli or things that happen in our life, our brain prioritizes that as important. You see, your brain does the body and the brain does a remarkable job of filtering out stuff. Guys, think about this. Every single day, there's so much things. Think about it. Look, the clothes on my hands, the jewelry, whatever you're wearing, your brain filters it out every day. You don't even feel it. You know it's there, but all these different senses, you're breathing. Your brain filters out the breathing. Do you stand there and notice I'm breathing? Do you stand there and notice, oh, the clothes is on my hands? I feel the jeans on my. No, those are all stimuli in the brain. Even in your head, there's circulation going on. There's all these things going on, and your brain filters those stuff out. Why does the brain filter those stuff out? The reason the brain filters those stuff out, because they're not important. You ignore them. You don't pay attention to them. So when you don't pay attention to them, the brain says, oh, okay, so this is not important. So it puts it in the background. You get what I'm saying here? Think about that when it comes to manifesting. So the brain filters out stuff. All right. Now, there's always things going on in our heads. Some people can hear like sounds in their ears and all that. The brain that filters. Sometimes if you have like problems with your ears or infection, you get like ringing and all this other stuff going on, and that's always going on in your brain. But sometimes you have an infection, makes it worse, and you can hear those stuff. But over time, the brain can actually filter those out. There's always going to be stuff going on. I'm using this as an example to show you something. So, for example, all right, if you kept focusing on your breathing or the clothes, the brain one day will start to make that important. So every day you get up, you'll start to feel your clothes on your body. But because you're subconsciously tuned, or neuroplasticity has already been adopted, even when you try to focus on it, you go back to your old pattern, which is because you've been doing it for so many years. Now, it's called our reaction. So what the brain does, the brain filters stuff based on our importance. Now check this out. So let's say when you're okay, let's say something happened in your reality, right? Let's say there's a situation and you deemed it bad situation, right? How you react to that situation. See, for me, my view is everything just is, right? So I adopt the mentality that everything is neutral, and based on how I approach it, I give it a meaning. So I could give something that some people may seem bad. I may see that as like a feedback loop. I don't see anything like failure. I see things as feedback. Some people may see what I see as bad, so they react different. What they're doing is they're training their brain through neuroplasticity to see that's important. So when my reaction to it, so if I react different than you, if you react to something that's bad, that you think is bad, your brain thinks that's important. So now it's not going to filter out the other stuff. It's going to see that as important and put that at the top. So like, for example, if part of your life is like, man, why can't I make enough money? Why can't why is it taking so long to manifest? All this stuff. So now that becomes important to the brain. Now we're talking about the brain, I'm talking about the subconscious now. Now when the subconscious says, why is it taking so long to manifest? Why isn't it here yet? Why can't I make enough money? Why can't I find a special person? All that. In the subconscious world, it is now seeing that, okay, I want more of that same pattern. So now it's going to prioritize, it's going to show you evidence of why it's taking so long, why it's not working, why you're not making the amount of income you want. But in your conscious, that's what I told you, that's what I'm saying to you. It is a very counterintuitive, but in your conscious mind, you think by asking that question, you're going to get an answer or a solution. You have no clue that when you're asking that, you are telling the brain this is important, fear is important, worry is important, why it's not happening is important. And now the brain, what it does, it puts that at the top, and that's going to create the neuroplasticity. If you do this over time means a long period of time, it will start to become a part of your reality. So guys, the truth is, it's not what happened, it's how you react to what's happening. That's the secret to changing your reality. Did you get that? Because how you react is going to tell the brain what's important. So when my advice is, and what you should start to do when things happen in your life, don't look at anything as a failure. Look at everything as feedback. That will start to get the brain to see that, oh, this is non-threatening, this is okay. So if it's a feedback, the brain becomes more neutral and you start to get better experiences, and before you know it, you'll change from a negative attractor factor to a more positive attractor factor.